Some Selenium ID record and playback feature, which I helped you understanding on Saturday. Anyhow, it can be used only for simple scripting, as I told you in the beginning. Selenium ID is not a major component. We use only for simple scripting, not or exploratory testing, not for building a complete automation regression. Only for simple scripting. So, and then there's a concept called a Java try catch enumerator and all we have seen. Try catch block. Exception handling is something important when you want to deal with some external files. During that time, you have to close the connections. Database, you have to close the connections. So mostly we'll be handling the exception. We handle the exception, log it, and then we'll close it. Now, we have already seen some in Selenium concept. This is a part of Java. So we already seen how to upload the file in Selenium. Okay. Sometimes when you want to upload the file, or sometimes when you get Windows authentication, let me be able to see my screen. Now, suppose if you want to upload the file, okay. So this I already told you, check for the type equal to file, and then you try to upload the file. That's what I have shown you how to upload the file. Then if this part is not working, how to approach that? We'll discuss using some other tool called Auto ID. When you deal with the Windows authentication and all, and upload feature in your first operation, what you need to try is you need to try this. This is clear for you, right? Upload how to upload the file using the element type equal to file.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is not working. Then we will go for Auto ID. Auto ID is not a part of Selenium. It's totally different component. Tools for working with Windows environment, Windows GUI. Okay. Now, using this, you should be able to know how to automate Windows authentication. One option is using Auto ID. Before that, Auto ID, then Selenium setup credential. Any one option you can use. Windows authentication for uploading the file. Also for uploading the file, it can be any file. One is by using Auto ID, the other one is using find element and send keys, which we have seen in the Selenium concept. How to upload the file, which I have shown. That is one option. This is one option, finding the element and then uploading the file. The other option is using Auto ID. Okay, right now you need to understand how to use Auto ID for doing the Windows authentication and how to use Auto ID for uploading a file. Let me quickly give you an idea about it. See, Auto ID is a totally different concept. It's nowhere related with Selenium. You can see Auto ID. AutoIDscripts.com is the official site. They have their own code. It's not related to Java or any other thing. It's a separate software which you need to download, set up, and write the code in their language. So you can see some sample code in Auto ID. These are all some sample code available in Auto ID. This is the code. And this is how we have to write the Auto ID script. Let me show you. So first, what I need to do is I have to download the AutoIT downloads. Let me check whether I have it or not. No, I don't have it. Let me download it. So after I go to the AutoIT downloads, then in the bottom you can see complete zip folder. This you can download complete zip, where it will have AutoIT features, inspector, as well as AutoIT editor will be there. A complete software will be given here on downloading this. Yeah, it got downloaded. Let me try to keep it in software folder. Try to extract it. Extracted the AutoIT folder. That this is the AutoIT. So in this you can see there will be a under SIT. When I extract, I will be getting this folder. This folder will contain site say SCIT. This is your editor, AutoIT editor. And you can see this is a simple AutoIT editor. Okay. Now this has lots of methods. For example, AutoIT, AutoIT send text, and text you can see AutoIT function send. There is a method called send in AutoIT. I can use that and I can send the keys. Whatever the keys I want, I can send it in double quotes. Or if I want to enter space or press enter, I have to put it in curly braces. That's the logic here. Send command. So there is a method send key. Send which whatever the file I have to save it in .au3 format. Let me first save the file. Let me keep it in the NSC folder. Windows underscore auth .au3. Let me save this. See, there's a method called send. Format will be .au3 send. Then I can send the text in the double quotes or single quotes. Let me send a hello. The AutoIT script right now. To run this, I can go for this tools. Go, I can do. If I do tools go, let me put a delay bit before this. I'll put a delay sleep and I can give the time. Let me give it as 5000. You'll wait for 5 seconds right now and then it will type hello. What I'll do is I'll first go here, go to this tools. and let me run it. And then I'll open the notepad and keep it. You can see after 5-second delay, it will type wherever my cursor point is. Got it? It will type wherever my cursor point is available. Suppose if I want to press enter, then I have to put that in the double quotes, curly braces, enter. So this will try to do the enter activity. And if I try to run this and I'll open the notepad, it will type hello and then it will do an enter key. You can see here. It's auto IT script. Whatever we are doing here, it's an auto IT, nowhere related with Java. First, is it clear for you? Type and key enter.
Yes.
Now, this auto IT, so when it comes to create a package, or let me go for advanced 2 itself. Under advanced 2, we are doing some activity. In that itself, I'll create a demo 7 in Windows authentication. And let it be the main method. Now, just navigate to this URL. Some site when you go, it will ask for the credential, username, password like this. You cannot do switch to type, or you cannot do switch to alert and all. You cannot automate this part. It's coming from Windows. To handle this, there is only 2 options. One option is by using the URL. Just listen carefully. You can try to send the username and password in URL. This is the first approach you need to do. If it is asking for Windows authentication, just use this first approach. This is the first approach you need to try. If it is asking, if your application is asking for Windows authentication, use this format. Okay. So in this format, if you notice it, you will be sending the username. For example, Bala is the username, and pass123 is the password. So you can use pass123 at the site URL. This will take the username and password, try to enter into it. Understood?
Yes.
This is the first approach we do. If the credential is correct, it will directly take you to the application. Suppose if it is not acceptable, if the credential is correct, it will take you to the portal. Anyhow, it's not correct, so it just again pop up with the same credential. You can see once you run with this, if it is not accepting, again it will pop up with the same credential. Now, this is the first approach we do. If this approach is not working, then what you need to do is, if it is not supporting, you can write an auto IT script. For example, this is the script. Assume that the username is admin and password is admin123. So I'll enter the username. I'll press tab. Okay, let me press tab. After pressing the tab, I'll enter the password, which means admin123. Then I'll try to enter I'll just click on enter key. Enter. And if I run the script, if you see here, I am going to click on go, tools, go, and I'll keep the cursor point here. It will try to enter the username, password, and then click on enter. Understood? The script, first of all, I wrote a simple auto IT script. It will have .au3 format. So waiting for 5 seconds, then running the script. basic activity. Got this? The script is clear for you?
Yes.
Yeah. Now this script, when you go to tools and do the compile or build, it will try to generate a exe file. After writing the auto it script, it's your duty to build the exe file. You can see AU3 format, it's a exe file. And whenever you trigger the exe file, it will start doing that particular activity. Whenever I trigger the exe file, admin tab and then admin123, then enter. That's the operation. This is a exe file. Just double click on it. It will react to the commands what we have written. Okay. Now this exe file is there, right? That we will try to run. After loading the URL, I'll try to run the exe file. You can see there will be a class called runtime dot get runtime dot executable. Okay, and then I'll give the exe file detail. This is the exe file detail. Copy path, and I'll give the path. So I'll provide a slash here. Save it and just over on it. It may throw that error right now. Got it? Is it clear for you? We have to run the exe file. Whatever the script you want, you can write to generate it and run the exe file using the Java code. Got it? And
Okay.
if the credential is correct, it will work. So next time, if you want to update anything, you can go to that particular folder where is your AU3 format. Just double click on that AU3 format, or you can do open with the editor, or you can just download the auto IT folder, then go inside that. You will be able to see site. So inside that, you will have the editor. Then you can write the script.
Okay.
Then once that is done, you have to compile it. Once it is done, you can open the script here, and it comes under the D drive in a C folder. Open the script, and when you do compile, it will update the exe file. That exe file is what I copied the location. This is the exe file. I just copy the location and I keep it over here. Okay, so this is a first operation, auto IT operation, basic auto IT. And then to upload the file in our demo 7 Windows authentication, demo 8, upload the file. Demo 8, upload. So when it comes to upload, as I already discussed upload option, first we will try to prefer this option. We'll try to go with this option. The option is not supporting. This is the preferable option, uploading. So if this is not supporting, then you will be trying to create an auto IT. To create the auto IT script, first we have to navigate to this URL. After navigating to this URL, Okay, let me click on this anchor tag. It has ID. So when I click on it, what is going to happen? Driver.find element by.id. See, the thing is you have to check for type equal to file. For sure, somewhere nearby that you will be able to see type equal to file. Exactly this export. You should be able to see. Type equal to file. You can use this and in case you do. Otherwise, when you inspect, you don't find the type file, you will be able to see this option. When we click on it, when I click on it, it will open the Windows authentication like this. Got it? Now I'm just clicking on it. Now Windows authentication, I'll tell you how to handle it. Okay. So now for we will not do complete GUI automation, whichever come across with Selenium, that if you do, that's more than enough. So let me create one more file here, and let me save this as a under NSE upload. I'll keep it as upload dot au3. That's the format. Let me zoom. Now, first, what we try to do is after clicking on this, which is done, we'll try to focus here. Okay, after focusing here, we know which file we want to upload. For example, I want to upload this file. Okay, and what I can do is I can type it over here, d drive : that file name, and I can click on open, right? So this operation we'll try to do with AutoID. After clicking on this, first we'll focus this section. After focusing this section, we'll try to set the text. After we set the text, we'll click on this. Okay. So three methods we'll be using. First, we have to focus here. There is a method called control focus. This is the method. In this method, you can see it's asking for title, text, control ID. These three options you need to give. Okay, let's understand how to give this. Three argument you need to give. We have to focus this. So let me inspect this section and show you. See, after you download the AutoID software, that particular zip folder, you can see there will be a AU3 info. Using this only, we will try to inspect. Under SCITE, you will be able to see the editor, and in the home directory, you can see AU3 info. Using this only, we will be able to inspect the AutoID. Got it? Now, if you drag and drop this field, this particular section, this finder tool, just drag and drop, it will give you the title. Title is open. Title is open right now. As a string you need to give, comma, it will ask for text. No text as of now. Text will be empty right now. You can always keep the text as, you can see this. Let me open it. Text always you keep it as empty. Control ID and title is what you need to give. Title of this particular element. Title of this particular element, you can notice it. It's open. Okay. Got it? How to get the title?
Please tell me again.
Okay, let me repeat it. Just download this this zip folder. Let me ping you the link. You can just download it. It will take 2 minutes to download. Download. After downloading, let me close unwanted pages. After downloading that, you can see a folder. Extract it. Once you extract, you can see AO3 info. Are you getting this?
Yes.
Yeah. So in that AO3 info, if you open, then you can try to Windows element, Windows GUI folders and all. You can just drag and drop. It will give you that element title.
Just a second.
Right.
Yes. Please tell me again this step.
Yeah. So after you download the Auto80 zip folder, extract it.
Yeah,
Extract
done.
files you do. After extracting, just get into that folder. Do you see AU3 info?
Yes.
Just open it. You will be getting a Windows information like this. You get this?
Yeah, it's extracting in its progress.
Yeah. After extracting, you will be getting. This is how we have to inspect. Just after opening this file, Finder tool will be there. Just you can drag and drop. We should know how to get the title and control ID. Two things is important.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Got it? Now, if you drag and drop this Finder tool, you can see the title. Control ID is nothing but class plus instance. Okay. For the section, title is installed. Control ID is nothing but class plus instance, which we will be dealing with. Okay. Now, on upload section, we need to use this Finder key on this upload section.
Okay.
Got an idea about this? Yeah, let me
Yes.
tell you how to automate this. See, we try to use three methods. One is control focus. In control focus, if you see control focus, we have to see the plan over here is after we click on this select PDF, I'll give this path here, D drive, this path. I wanted to type this path here. After clicking on this select PDF, I'll give this path here and click on open. Understood? That is what I'm going to use. To enter the data here, we will try to use Auto80. To click on this open, we use Auto80. Understood?
Yes.
Now, first I click on this. Now I'll try to inspect using this Finder tool. You can see here. This section I drag and drop. I'm getting the title. Title as open. Class as edit. Instance as 1. So let me go to AU3. Control focus will ask for title. First thing. It will ask for title. Okay. Title is nothing but open. And the text, you can always keep it as empty. It is empty text only. Control ID, it will ask. Control ID is nothing but, if you see here, class is edit. Okay, instance is one. Class plus instance is your control ID. Edit one. That's the control ID. Got it? We are focusing this particular section right now. Okay. Class plus instance is nothing but the instance. Class plus instance is nothing but control ID. Now I wanted to type anything in that section. Control set text will be there. You can see there's a method called control set text. Again, it's asking for title. Title is going to be open, and the text always will be empty. And for that section, control ID, we already described, right? Control ID is one for that section. One is the control ID, comma, and you can see it's asking for text. Okay, what text I want to set? The text I can give it here. The text which I want to send is this option. Understood?
Yes.
This will ask for several arguments. You have to provide that argument. Like title, I already told you how to get the title. Title you will be getting here. Control ID plus instance is nothing but the class plus instance is nothing but the control ID. Text always it will be empty. We have given this. Now I want to click on open. To click on open, let me drag and drop. The title is open. Class is button. Instance is one. Control ID is button one. Title is open. I want to click on open. To click on open, control. You can see it will ask for title. Title is open. It stays empty. Control ID is nothing but button one. That's it. A basic script is what I generated. I save it. After saving it, I go to tools, build. It will generate a exe file, upload.exe file. Now what I can do is after clicking on this, I can run the exe file. To run the exe file, runtime.get runtime.executable command I need to give. See here, let me run the script. Something went wrong. Let me check it. Understood? It got uploaded.
Yes.
This script, after you generate the script actually like this will be the script. After generating the script, whatever you want it in Windows, generate it. Go to tools and do build. When you do build, it will generate the exe file. That exe file you can trigger it whenever you want in between the Java code. This is how you have to upload using the automatic. Got it?
Yes.
And basic Java database queries,
Sorry?
basic database queries. You have an idea?
Yes. I know.
Let me quickly rewind it and then I'll show you that. See, for in our framework, we will try to work on few things. For example, Orange HRM hybrid framework I'll take. In that hybrid framework, we have a utilities folder, and a utilities folder Excel we are trying to connect. Similarly, data utils is there for keeping the data provider detail, and Excel util is there for working with Excel. Similarly, there will be a file called pop utils. In real time, you will be seeing this properties file. In Java, under data folder, you can see lots of properties file. Data folder, you will be able to see it as data folder. Properties file will be there. The extension will be properties. Data.properties. The properties file is something which is designated to Java. In Java, you will be seeing lots of properties file. I'll quickly tell you how to read the properties file. For example, properties file will have key value path. For example, URL equal to URL equal to that particular URL. Okay, you will give some properties detail like database detail, those things and all. We'll keep it in the properties file. Okay, so for browser, we are trying to configure from the XML file, change XML file. Okay. Similarly, in sometimes you will be able to see this properties file where it will have key value. Okay, using the key, you can access the value. Let me quickly give you an idea about the properties file in a demo class. I'll just create a demo and I'll delete it. A class called demo, and with the main method. In order to read the properties file, I'll use file input stream. Whatever file you will try to convert into stream object. File input stream, it comes under a data / data.properties. That's the file name. Data.properties. Now here file dot will be there's a class called properties here, given by Java team only. Properties Java.util, and let me give prop equal to new properties, and this will create an empty property. We'll try to load the existing property, that is file input stream. While doing this, it might give you input output exception. Just throw the exception, not handle it. Now this prop will be holding the complete key value path because we loaded the file. The file is connecting to properties file. Now with this, we will be able to get the output. So you can see system.out.println top.get. You see there will be a method like get property. Get property, if you pass key, it will send the value. Get property key, I'll give it as a URL. You can see we will get the value as the URL value. Okay. Similarly, if I give the key as browser, Okay, understood how to read the properties file by using
Yes.
the key. If you give any wrong key, it will be null. You can give preference to either properties or XML file. Just creating some logic. Let me show you that. Mostly we'll give preference to XML. Okay, the test.ng XML. Let me go to the utilities, prop utilities. Here I will be creating a method public static string get prop value argument. I need to give string key. Now based on the key, it should return the output. Let me copy the script here. Now here it will try to access the property. Now return prop dot get property, and I give the key. Key is nothing but this key. So this method, whenever whoever call, if they pass the detail, it will get the key. The simple method I constructed with this. You can see it's a main method which I designed over here. Printing it. Now I'm getting the value and returning it from the method. Understood? Got an idea how to read the properties file?
Yes.
Now, so one method I created, you can see the method name is prop get prop value. Get properties value, which I created right now. I can call this method. So in the base class, if you want to give preference to XML, or if you want to give the preference to properties file, you can try to set some detail over here. In the properties file, you can set the detail. Here you will have a, you can set the detail properties underscore preference. Okay, you can keep it as yes or no. Properties I underscore preference. You can keep it as yes or no. Yes or no. If it is yes, I want to load this URL and browser from this. If it is no, I want to load it from the existing detail. Got it? You will give a property preference. Now I'll go to the WebDriver wrapper. In WebDriver wrapper, here is where I'm trying to launch the browser, do the operation and all. So over here, I'll check for the if condition. If static method, so prop utils prop dot get a property value by using the key. Key I'll keep it as and dot equals if the key is matching with yes, and sometimes it will match with no. Just hover on it, it will throw some error. Just throw it. Now, if the key is matching with, if it is yes, I need to load the browser detail. I can keep the, see if there is a matching, and browser equal to browser is the key, and URL equal to a particular URL. Let me give the let me debug it and show you any one test method. where it is throwing error. String URL is not declared out. String URL will be an argument actually. String URL, and if you want to send it from parameter tag, you can send it. Otherwise, I'll give the optional value, comma URL. So you in the XML document, you have to mention the URL. Issues is fixed. Let me go and run on particular test method. It goes to the wrapper class right now. Okay, you can see here it comes to this. Now it will check for the preference right now. Is it yes or no? If it is yes, then it will update the browser name and it will update the URL. Given preference to properties file. Understood?
Yes.
It launches with Chrome. Let me stop it. Let me terminate it right now. I'll go to the properties file is something which you can edit it in Notepad itself. Save it and write me run to run it and show you. Now extend report getting loaded. Test method creating. Browser name, you can see it should be H, and right now the preference is given to the properties. Okay, that's how the framework will be customized. So got an idea about this?
Yes.
Okay, this is all about properties file in demo. I'll delete it, which is not good. Now, database is something which you should be connecting it. Most of the time, what happens is after we complete the test method, for example, if you're adding an employee, after we add an employee, we will try to check assertion. Will do assertion on add an employee on the web page, and then assertion on database also will be done. Added name is present in database or not, assertion on DB for that particular row. Added name is present or not, we will try to check. Understood? Now for doing that activity, you should know how to run the basic queries, and get the output in Java. Through the Java programming, you should be able to do it. For database, what we can do is, okay, I'll use W3 school and explain few queries. For practice, you can use this. Okay, see, select start from customer. Basic queries. Okay, to find the total number of rows, you can use count of stars. An aggregate function count of star. It will tell you total number of rows available here. Okay, 90. Let me do star. Suppose if you want to filter the city with Berlin, what we need to do? I want only the record which is having city equal to Berlin. So how to do that? Condition here
where city equal to
Berlin. Okay. Record double quotes you can. It will filter the record with Berlin. Got it? Basic where condition. Now I want all the record. Let me go for orders, and I want all the orders, order detail. Okay, I want all the from the order detail table. I want all the quantity, all the record which is having the quantity between 20 to 30, between 20 to 30, all the record. So how to do that?
where quantities
Hmm.
less than 30 and
Yeah. So
greater
where
than
quantity less than 30 and including 30 means greater than equal to. Okay. Quantity, make sure the column name is correct. Greater than 20, both the condition is satisfied, those record will be filtered over. So you can see it. Okay, so got it. Basic queries. No. Select queries, mostly you will be trying to run it and check. Update queries in order to update a record. In customer city Berlin is there. For that customer name, I'll try to change. Okay, I will try to change the customer name here. So for update query, update table name, set customer name. You can see updated a row. Okay, if I try to do the select query and check it will give you the updated detail. Hello, understood how to update it. In order to delete it, delete from customer where update and delete is clear for you. Basic update query and delete query. There are in when it comes to database, you should know what DLL with DML. So data definition language and DML. Okay. So for example, creating a table, dropping a table, renaming a table, add a column, those things and all DDL. We call it as DDL, dynamic definition language. Whereas DML is nothing but DML basically it's for data manipulation language, I guess. Let me confirm. Yeah, it's correct. Data manipulation language. And for example, update query, insert query, delete query, those things comes under this DML. So without modifying the actual environment, we'll update the records, modifying the record. That's a DML. Okay, let's understand this query, how to run it in Java programming. Let me go for Orange HRM. In Orange HRM, I'll create one demo file itself. Under tester, I'll create one demo file, demo DB. Just understand basic queries, and then I'll share you the script, which you can add it to the framework. And only if there's a requirement to connect to the database, we'll use it. Otherwise, we don't use it. So for example, I already have a database. Let me try to use the database. My SQL database is there. Let me connect to that MySQL database. There is a class. There's a class called driver manager. You can see get connection is there. In connection, you need to give few things. Get connection, you have to give the URL. The URL in the sense database details you need to give. For example, there will be a drivers, lots of drivers. So JDBC is the drivers, and I'm planning to connect MySQL. So I've given MySQL. Okay. Then colon slash slash the SQL where it is running, the server detail, port detail, and database detail I need to give. Okay. So I have to give the environment where it is running, and then I have to give the port, any particular port, and then I can give the database name. Then I can start doing the operation, username and password. So for MySQL, let me take it from the previous script. Let me go over here. These are all database detail. MySQL. This is the username, and this is the username, and this is the password for my database. So while getting the connection, I have to pass the lot of things here. I have to pass the URL and comma. I have to pass the username, comma, password. So username is nothing but this is the username which I have. I'll share this record. You can use this record on the username. And there will be a that's the password. Okay. dbfree.net is the host detail. Instead of localhost, I have to give dbfree.net. That's the host detail, dbfree.net. We have to give localhost colon port detail, the port where it is running. Always it will run it in 3306 only, MySQL port. (3306) by default it will run. If there's a change, then only it will not work. Right now, what I'm trying to do over here is I'm trying to get the connection from where this particular server. Okay. MySQL dbfree.net 3306 username and password. Now, after completing this, this is going to give you the connection detail. This will give you the connection detail. Let me store the connection object. First, we have to establish the connection. Now, what I need to do is I have to create the statement and run the code. That's it. To create the statement, the update statement or delete statement, and then I need to run. So there is a class called statement, or you can use a statement con dot statement. I'll use create statement. Con dot create statement. Create statement will give you a statement object. You can see return type. It will give you a statement object. Let me store it. First, we have to understand which connection we are planning to connect. You have to create a space for statement. Then you can inject the detail like what we want to execute. Okay, there is a sc.execute query is there. Execute query is there. So you can use this for running any query. So let me do that execute query. And I'll give a select star, select count of star from, I guess I have a table called persons. Let me check it. This method will give you the output. I'll tell you how to handle the result set. Result set return type will be result set. Let me keep it as RS. Now using while loop, we can do see whatever the connection. It can be MySQL, it can be PostgreSQL, or it can be MS SQL. You have to give JDBC MySQL, or for PostgreSQL PG MySQL you need to give, and then the host detail, the IP address, and then the port detail. Okay, then you have to give username and password. This is the connection. First, it will try to get the connection. In that, we are trying to create the statement. After creating a memory for statement, we are running this query. Understood? We will get the result set. Okay, let me try to put a breakpoint here. If all details are correct, it will try to establish the connection. Let me verify that. Jars might be required. Some class may not be available. It will give you class not found exception in some case. At that time, we have to add the jar. You can see no suitable driver found for no suitable, not able to find the driver. So for every SQL detail, there will be a driver. We need to install the driver. Okay, it's our duty to download the driver and set it up. In the if it is a Maven project, you can set it up in the form.xml. In form.xml, you can add the MySQL detail. Let me go to the Chrome, MySQL. Let me add this SQL. So you go to form.xml and then I'll add it. See, whatever the SQL, it can be PostgreSQL, whatever SQL. This is the detail. For PostgreSQL, what you need to do is, let me save it, it will download. After downloading, I'll try to run the script. Now, yeah, it's downloading. So always we have to do this driver manager git connection. While doing that, you have to give the driver detail. For PostgreSQL, as I told you, it will be this JDBC colon PostgreSQL will be there. Okay, and what database you will be dealing with in your environment? Mostly it will be MySQL, right? Any idea about your database?
Sorry.
Yeah, what database you will be working in your environment? The database detail.
I
Just
didn't get it.
yeah, what database you will be working on for testing?
Just a second.
No, the database, either PostgreSQL or MySQL or MS SQL. May
It's
audible?
MySQL.
MySQL, right? So for MySQL, this is the dependency you need to add. After searching for MySQL, you need to add this dependency.
Okay. We are using Oracle and MySQL both.
Okay. Same way, you have to search for Oracle and you need to add the Oracle here. You will have a jar related to Oracle DB, JDBC Oracle DB. This will work out. Okay. Just after adding the jar here, exactly in this position, these 3 steps always will be there. Sure. Get connection, JDBC colon MySQL or JDBC colon PostgreSQL, MS SQL, and then the detail about that particular server where it is running, the IP address. If it is running in localhost colon port detail, username and password I need to give. And after that, after using this connection, we have to create the statement, a memory for running the query. Then after that, you can see this using this connection, we are creating a statement. And what statement we are creating is this one, execute the query. Create statement. You can actually do it in a single statement. So no need to put it in 2 lines. On dot create statement dot execute query. Creating the statement, and which statement? This execute query, which will run almost every query it will run. Select, update, delete every query you can run by using one method. After executing, it will give you a result set. We'll understand how to handle the result set. Let me try to run it. I'll just come in 2 minutes. Just a minute. Yeah. So let me run this. No database selected. Create SQL connection. Under the server, database detail is also same for me. See, I'll show you the right now. I cannot show you the environment because maybe it will not get logged in. dbfree.net is there. db4free.net. When you get there, you can try creating an account here. free SQL just for practice. They will give you free SQL, which you can basically sign in and check it. Okay. Now I have given the database detail. Let me run it and check first of all. Yeah, it connected it properly. Okay, let me try to put a breakpoint here and show you. Now you can see this is the server detail, IP address, and then the port detail where the server is running. If you see db4 free server detail, it's a open source server only available. You can see here, they will give you the detail. This is the host detail. Username is I have my username, my password. This is the host, dbfree.net E303. So basically this script is based, whatever I have done it over here, within the double quotes, that is basically JDBC MySQL. This part is nothing but host and colon port, and this is DB name, database name. This will be username, and this will be password. Understood? For your SQL, you should be having the host name. The IP address you need to give. You can either give IP address also. This will also work. Okay, if it is confusing. dbfree.net. Basically, that IP address is registered with domain. Okay, that's the logic here. Now I'm connecting to that server and trying to get one table. There is a table actually. Getting a connection. Now, and then running this particular statement. You can see result set. Okay, this will have a set of value in it. Okay, there is, you can see current row -1. So I have to go for the next row and then I have to read the value. I'll tell you how to understand this result set, how to work with the result set. See, in order to read the cell values, particularly in the result set, you have to go for the next method. There is a method called next, which will go for rs.next. If you do, it will go for the next available row, rs.next. This part, when I run, it will go for the next available row. It will tell you whether a new row is there or not. It will give you either true or false. True. True means there is a row available. Okay. rs.next will move to the next row. First time I'm running, move to first row. Okay. And returns true for row available. First row is available. Then it will do this operation, rs.next. To get the value, you have to use the same system.out.println rs.get string. You can do rs.get string, and you can give the column index. Column index, I'll keep it as 1, and I'll try to run. You'll come to know there is only one. In this case, there will be count of star, which means one row, one cell will be there. Okay, say 0. There is person. One second, let me check the table name. Table name is products. I have product table. I have some records. Let me try to check the count here. 82 rows is there. Select count of star will give you an output, something similar to this. Count of star. It's an aggregate function which will give you a row, one particular row, one cell, it will give you 580. To read that particular row, first I have to run that. After running it, you can see rs.next. It will go for the first row. First time when you call this, it will go for the first row. In the first row, I'm getting the first cell value, but there will be only one column in that case. If I give 2 and all, it won't be there, so it should be throwing error right now. Okay, you can see first row. Okay, in our case, what we will do is basically, in our case, let me create a let me keep it as demo one. Rename file to db1. I'll keep one more file demo2. So in our case, what we'll do is we'll try to add a record. After adding a record, we'll check whether that record is available or not. For example, count of star from product where record we'll try to search. What are the record we are trying to add? Assume that you added a record called there will be a record with my name, Balaji. Okay, assume that we added using Selenium web page. Assume that you added a record. You added a product with a name, something like this. Okay, assume that you added a product. Now, what you will do in real time is where these are all column name, product name equal to, then the single quotes, you can give the value. After running this, it will try to get the count of table, that particular table. If it is greater than 0, it means product is available. Otherwise, it's not available. Right now, the product is not there. Let me check for some other product. Okay, let it be like this. I'll print each and every 3 column is there. I'll try to print all the columns right now. Okay. First, I'll try to print all the columns from this table. Then mostly we will try to do these activity. Added record is there or not is what we will try to do. Select star from product will give you all the cell values. Okay. Now in this case, what you can do is you can write a while loop while rs.next. Okay. This will go for every row. So whenever it is true, this will be true when new row available. Okay. Now, if it is true, it will enter this loop. Inside this loop, what I'm going to do, system.out.println rs.get column index, get column rs dot find a column also you can use. Otherwise, you can use let me use string itself. Easy to handle. Get string column index. I'll give 1. There will be 3 columns. So 1, first column, second column, third column. There will be product ID, product name, and some description is going to be there. Let me put a breakpoint here. Okay. First, I'm trying to collect the entire row detail under the result set. Select star from products. All the rows will be under this control. Okay. Now we will be in -1th row, so it will get into first row. So rs.next get into the first row. In first row, I'm getting the first cell value. Okay. And second row, third row. You can see these are the records available. Okay. In the table, there are 89 records available, I guess. So each and every row I'm trying to print. So we don't actually get entire row and check. You can see these are the rows available. I can check for some row, some name, or there is a there is a description called Amazon. Okay, and assume that you have added a description Amazon in it. So what you'll do is you'll go to the through the page you added a description Amazon means a demo to uh, added a product with the description Amazon, which means that record should be there in the system. Make sure whether the record is there in the system or not. You need to write a query. Select count of star product equal to description equal to that particular description. Now for this, the row count should be 1. For this, the row count should be 1. Just checking for one particular. 3 rows are there, so greater than 1, it's fine. Okay, 3, it means the description is present. Okay, you can write a proper query. You can see here I'm trying to get the count of the product. Only one row, one cell will be there. Get of string 1. rs dot next will go for the first row, and then from that I'm getting the first column index. First column value. Now here what I'm trying to do is I'm doing star where description equal to Amazon. It will try to give three rows basically. I'm going to the first row and getting the description. Okay, going to the like this will give you 3. The count as 3. Always there will be one row, one cell whenever you use aggregate function in this case. So it will go to the first row and the first column that will have 3 values. Here what I'm trying to do is running the entire query. Select start from product. After running the entire query, you can see rs.next, rs.next, go to the next available row. It will go to the first row basically. At that time I'm getting column 1 2 3. First record I'm trying to get. If you run this, you can see this the first row, second row, third row, something like that I have. Got it? Got an idea how to run this?
Yes.
Remember, result set will be the output. Okay, that result set you can store it and you can check it. Now let me do one thing. Try to update the description Amazon to Amazon India, and then I'll try to check whether it is updated or not. Okay. For that, I'll quickly create one demo 4, which is for updating. Insert, update, delete query. You can do the same thing using this execute script because we can try to do the operation. So connection dot execute script. You can call this. In this you can write an update code. Update product set description equal to Amazon India. I'll set it for product ID, where product ID is 5001. I'm going to set the description as Amazon India. Okay, or let me take some simple this product ID 5013. That product ID I wanted to set. There is a column called product underscore ID. In that I'll try to update. Okay, I'll go to demo 4 and where Amazon India, where product underscore ID equal to I'll be giving 5013. Before updating, I want to know the record. In that case, what I can do is I can just run this script. Before updating, I want to know the record. So I'll just do this. Where product ID 5013 before updating. So this will update the record. Update the record. After updating, I want to know the output. So again, I can update result set and check. Let me run this in a debug mode. Select star from product where product ID is 5013. One row will be there and getting the record details. You can see that's it. Only one row. So rs.next will be false after run. I'm trying to update, doing an update query. If the query is correct, it will update the record. And after updating it, I think, let me check the query. Cannot issue statement that do not produce results set. For update, you can use this method. Basically, this is not going to provide a execute is fine. Update, insert, delete. You can use the method execute. For rest of the things, you use the method execute query. Let me debug it again. Method is what you need to check on. So execute should be working fine. Now you can see I'm trying to get into the first row. Result set. Right now you can see the result set current row -1. We have to go to the first row. So rs.next will take you to the first row. Move the cursor forward one row from its current position, and then result set will contain the first row detail. You can see first row. That's it. Only one row. It will go for the update statement. After updating, you can see it got updated. This query ran. Now I'm trying to get for same cell value, same product ID, and then try to get the print the detail. Got it? It got updated. So the update, you'll be doing it from the site, from the web page, and you'll run this query and check it whether it is modified properly or not. Got it? This update query. Is that clear for you? Update query. So
Yes.
rs.next gives you true or false. If there is a row, it will be true. Otherwise, it will be false. For example, if you are planning to delete something, you can use this. Let me delete this particular same record. Delete from products where product ID is this one. After deleting it, you can try to show you the print statement rs.next system.out.println. If I do rs.next, you can reset the rs there will be option to refresh row. It will again set it to the first row. So here what I'm trying to do is debug the code. First it will print the record, then I'm updating the record. Already it's updated, only just running the script. Updating, and then it's already updated, so it's just printing the record. Now I'm deleting a record. Now after deleting, I'm trying to get the record. You can see it's false, which means there is no row at all. Okay, so refresh. No row, so it got failed. Okay, so if I run the script, there won't be any row right now. rs.next will be false. The statement, there is no row, so it is false. We deleted it. Okay, so rs.next is something which will give you true or false and go to the next available row. If there is a next available row, it will give you true, and then it will have the control of current row. That's what we are doing it here, rs.next. So with this, you will be writing some reusable code. Okay, with this, you will be writing some reusable code. Let me show you that code. No need to prepare it. It's already available. So let me show you the with a proper try catch. I have designed a few methods which you can use it. DB util, some package name I need to modify, change package to com.utilities. You can see a method connection DB connect. While calling the method, it will connect to the database. It's basically for SQL server. You can edit. Let me keep it for DB MS SQL. For MySQL, I will try to show you DB MySQL utils. MySQL, for MySQL, these things is not required. Now, for MySQL, few things I need to update. Update this part, especially this part. JDBC colon MySQL. MySQL colon. And in here, we will come to know exactly which host or server or whatever it is. You can give the detail. Right now, you can hard code. If you are going to be sure that it's going to be only that particular server, then you can hard code the detail here. Okay. Now, localhost like port host, port, DB detail, and username and password. This will be the username, and this will be the password in our case. Now, after connecting established, if you call this method get connection, it will do this operation. It will establish the connection. Okay, let me MySQL. While calling this method, it will try to give you the connection. From that connection, we are trying to get the create statement and then doing the operation. So methods will be there, like for execute query, execute multiple rows. Okay, and DB connect, I have to just pass few details like which DB we want to connect. That detail I can pass. DB connect string, username and password, which I'm passing and getting the connection. Okay, so for update query, there's one code I'll add it. For update query, the method will be query execute. Okay. No return statement, just it will try to run the statement. Executed query, query string. And this will be the method. Got it? So 3 methods is going to be there. So in your case, what you'll do is you'll just make sure whatever the user, it will convert and then give you the detail. So connection, query string, row number, column number you can give. It will give you that particular cell values and do the operation. And once you start doing the test method, most rarely you do this. If you want to do that operation, you can just call db util, db mysql utils dot just non-static method. So if you want to create it as static, you can make it as static, not an issue. Since it's a reusable one, you can directly make it as static so that you can access it easily. Now, while calling this method, I will call the method execute query I call. In the Zen, I'll call execute query, and connection details I will give, which will be close this. Just convert it to non-static and give you. It will be easy for you. Get connection. This will be the connection detail. It will try to establish the connection and create the statement, run the query. Execute query here I will call. While calling it, it will ask for the query. And whatever the record you added, that record, whether it's shown in the screen or not, you can check. Select star from employee, where employee ID 10, whatever the record you added. And this will give you a string, and that particular string output is matching with the record added detail or not. So, for example, assert if it is you can convert that to an integer. Okay, so to convert that to integer, you can just use int out equal to string dot integer dot parse. There's a class called integer dot parse, and you can pass that integer, and the outcome should be greater than assert dot assert true. Assert true you can do, and condition you can give. The outcome should be greater than 0, which means the record is available. So it means it's passed. Output should be equal to 1. Okay. Based on that, it will be passed or file message you can give if you want. Okay. Records not available. On failure, it will be showing. Okay. This is a message. On failure, the message will be printed. Okay. So as I say for you, after execute query, you can see while calling this method, it will connect to the database and get the first column as a string that I'm trying to convert. For example, let me do products. Here, I'll do a products here. Let me go over here and check for demo 4. I am running all the record, right? Demo 3, I'm running all the record. One particular product ID, I'll try to check. 50101. That's the product ID. Assume that I'm adding an employee with that particular employee ID. Okay. And products product underscore ID equal to this ID. Now let me put a breakpoint here and debug the script. Now when I debug, it will connect to the database, like it will connect to the Excel first and start doing the operation. Browser will be launched. It will navigate to the URL. Then once the Selenium execution is done, it will go for the database checkup. It's taking a lot of time, so I'll just launch with Chrome. Now after that, launching the browser, navigating to the URL, it will start doing the operation. Now you can see call the method execute script. Let me get into the method. This method will try to get the connection. You can see this method will try to get the connection. This is not required in our case. Let me rerun this again. See, there is two class which I created in my case. One is connecting to MS SQL, the other one is connecting to MySQL. So some code of MS SQL is there. So I just commented that. Get into the method. Now you see get connection it will call, which means this method it will try to call. Let me put a breakpoint here and I'll click on resume. It comes over here. And now what happened is I'm calling this method connection. You can see MySQL DB free colon 3306 and database name, and then the username password I am passing. Username is DB free, password is 123. So this will try to create the connection. After getting the connection, this particular method, after getting the connection, it will return that connection. Now this method will return the connection. Now statement will try to execute. If the query is correct, then it will execute the statement. Result set. I think the state is wrong. Select start from product where product underscore ID table DB free underscore DB products doesn't exist. Okay, case sensitive. Some database will be case sensitive, because of that it is causing that issue. Okay, I'll just change the query. It's products. Okay. And then again I'll try to debug the code. So at the end of the test method, you will be connecting to database and you will verify it. If it is a complete database testing, you have to work on lots of queries. But through Java, if you want to execute, these are the methods available. You can see this statement got executed right now. Now I'm checking for the next row. It's having the record. You can see this is the record it has 501101. I'm returning that particular record. Okay. As a string, I'm returning. I have to convert that to a integer right now. Then checking whether it is equal to 1 or not. Right now, I'm just converting the record. So it is 501, which will not be same. So it will be failure right now. So it should be count of star. The element is there, then it just passed. Added record. Added record, you will be getting it in the argument here. Employee ID. Understood? That you need to append here. Got an idea about this? Is it clear for you till this? Any the DB connection?
Yes.
Okay. So just two method basically. I've created a 4 demo class. With that you can understand. You can see select count of star. It will give you only one row, one cell. rs.next will move to the first row basically right now. The first time we are running, so it will go to the first row. In the first row, I'm getting the first cell. If I run this, it will give you the first cell value. Whatever you try to run, it will give you the first cell value. If you try to do the star, it will it will return log table, it will return, but it will try to get the first cell value. That's it. You can see only first cell value. Count of star, you can do this. And then I explained you about count of star where description and getting the cell value. And then this select star from table, all the rows I'm trying to return. It will print all the rows, print all rows. And then this is to update, delete, insert, update, delete, insert. For that, there will be a method execute. So after understanding all these things, you can create a reusable code. Reusable code is what I created in this section. In the DB, MS SQL is what you can use. Under MS SQL, I created two methods: execute query. MS SQL you don't want. Let me remove it. It's not. It will confuse you. Let me remove MS SQL. I'll keep MySQL only. Under MySQL, you can see just execute string and then doing the operation. Connection we will automatically get it. Get connection. No need to worry about it, which I updated for you to understand it easily. Get connection. Now execute, update, insert, delete, and all. You can call this method. Which method? Just execute and give you the output. Just execute and move on. You can later try to convert the detail. No need to return anything. So execute it. That's it. It will try to execute some statement and give you the output. If you wanted to check it, you again run this select star from table and get the output. So final statement will be something like this in real-time projects. And most of the time, only UI functionalities you will be validating. Database mostly you'll not validate. But in case if you're trying to validate the database, then you have to add the statement after the assertion of the web page. Now these are the things which was pending from the topic which we discussed. Yeah. Let me know if you have any doubts apart from this. Is it clear for you whatever we have done till now? Let me update this project to GitHub. A demo sample code, I'll keep it under the main for your reference, or I'll create a demo package and keep it, which you don't want to confuse the framework. NSE dot db demo not required. I'll keep it just for your reference. Let me know if you have any doubts. Only one topic is pending, like Git using command prompt, which we did not discuss much. We use only Eclipse, and then Jenkins is something which is pending. So apart from that, I hope everything is done. Let me know if you have any doubts. Exactly. Just try to practice on this framework. Okay. So DB and all, it's final part only. If there is a requirement, then only you will be adding it. Otherwise, you will not add this DB also in your system. Okay, in your framework. But properties, Excel and all, it will be there for sure in the framework. Understood?
Yes.
Fine. So same thing can be used for BDD framework also. The DB, just copy paste it, and one step definition. DB should contain this record, and you have to call that method and check assert, do the assertion. That's it.
Okay.
So Jenkins and Git and Jenkins. So how do you want to go forward? Like as per the plan, some hours are pending, and that much hour is not required. On Saturday we connected only 4 hours, and then Wednesday we did not connect. Today is Monday, right? So Monday we connected. Friday we connected. Wednesday we did not connect. Wednesday. Okay. So like how do you want? Like you want me to share the video for Git and Jenkins, or how was it?
Yeah, it's okay. You share.
Or if
You-
possible, Wednesday same timing we can connect on 2:30 to 4:30 as a final session.
On same time. Okay.
Like whichever is comfortable for you, you can let me know.
Okay, we can connect on Wednesday.
Wednesday 2:30 to 4:30 will connect, right? Final session
Yes.
will
Yes.
map on that day. Yeah. Okay, fine. We're able to practice everything, whatever we have done.
Yes, I'm practicing, but I'm going too slow.
Okay, no problem. Practice it and let me know in case of any doubts. No issues.
Yes.
Okay, so then we'll connect on Wednesday. See you then.